Howdy, folks. I'm a turquoise turtle tearfully telling terrible tongue twisters.
I'm Amber.
And here are more terrible tongue twisters for us to tell.
You know what's funny is I was trying to think of what you could be last night, and turquoise turtle was definitely part of it.
Oh, Amber's psychic.
But it was going to be a tenacious turquoise turtle teasing toxic tadpole, or toadstools, not tadpoles, but you could tease toxic tadpoles too.
Yeah, well, that's pretty good. Pretty similar. I mean, tongue twisters and toxic toadstools are a lot alike, right? Let's get started. And also, there is a live stream happening later today, so I hope to see you all there. For more information, please see the end of the video. Alright folks, our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Denying an Older Woman Shelter from a Storm? I'm a 23-year-old female, and I'm an avid hiker in Australia. Last week, I encountered a middle-aged woman, around 50 years old, as I was coming off a trail. She was walking in my direction as I came out of the bush. It was a strange sight to see her. The sun was almost down and the weather was starting to turn. Also, this was an intermediate collection of trails at best, difficult even for me at the worst. And she didn't look super athletic. The point is that my weird radar was going off already. She walked up to me and stopped, standing too close for comfort, gestured towards the clearing where my car was parked, and then she asked if that was my car. No greeting or anything. When I looked over, something made me uncomfortable. There were no cars other than mine in sight. The trail that I was on wasn't crazy far from civilization, but it's not within walking distance. One of those highway rest stops that's there for the trail and a few parking spots. No way that she could have gotten there without driving. I let her know that yes, it was my car, to which she responded something like, "Perfect, there's a storm coming. I can't get caught in it, and I need to go home." She was very matter of fact, and it seemed like she had already decided what would happen, without waiting for my response. Then she started striding towards my car. I'm glad that I always lock my doors because she would have hopped right into the passenger seat had the door open. As she was walking over to it, I went over to her trying to explain that I wasn't sure that it was a good idea for her to hitch a ride, asking why that she was out here in the first place. I was talking to a brick wall until she realized that the car was locked, at which point she turned around and had this look of anger and frustration on her face. She starts ranting the same stuff as before. I need to get home. The storm is coming. I cannot be caught in it. Why don't you get it? I was very confused at this point and a little scared, as this woman was now a barrier between me and my car. I told her something along the lines of, "I'm sorry, but I don't feel comfortable with having a stranger in my car." She started to stare me down for a few seconds, I guess trying to gauge her chances of asking again. And just like that, the anger drops from her face and she's silent. I was really uncomfortable. I asked if I could call someone, if there was another way to help, and she starts walking towards me. Scary. But then right past me. I'm still asking her questions, then she just says things like, "Hello," and "Excuse me." No response. She walks to the other end of the rest stop and maintained eye contact with me as she sat down on a log and then just stared at nothing. I didn't follow her, and I got into my car really shaken and I drove away. As soon as I was back in cell phone range, I called fire and rescue. They said that they would send someone out. I was scared for my safety in the moment, but she was just some woman alone in the middle of nowhere. Am I the jerk for refusing to give this strange woman a ride and shelter in my car? Alright folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk. There's no way to know what her intentions were. And I think calling fire and safety people was the best course of action, because if she's having, a mental health crisis or something, they're going to be able to help her.
Yeah.
And if she's actually being nefarious, then at least she won't be able to prey on some other unsuspecting person. Maybe seeing the fire, the emergency services people show up will be enough to scare her off.
Yeah, there's something weird about the situation, and you have to trust your gut. And unfortunately, I think OP brings up a lot of good points. Like, she's out in the middle of nowhere. She's in a part of the trails, which is probably a little difficult even for OP, and probably even more so for this one woman. And how did she get here? Like, why is she out here? Where is she going? Why does she need a ride from OP of all people? And things just don't add up here. And I mean, I can't blame OP for being really, really hesitant, because who knows what could be wrong with the situation. She could be a perfectly fine person, but then again, she might not be too.
Yeah, well, and just the way she approaches the whole situation, like, I feel like most people, if they needed a ride, they'd be like, oh, I am so sorry, but, my car broke down 5 miles back, and, like, can I just hitch a ride with you into town? And, like, you still don't have to give them a ride, but, like, just her whole, like, oh, yes, I'm going with you type of assumptions, like, that seems off, and trying to force her way into OP's car, like, it just seems like I get bad vibes from the situation. I don't blame OP, and again, calling emergency services, they're going to be able to get her where she needs to go.
Exactly. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Euthanasia 63 says, not the jerk, you called for assistance for her as soon as you were able to. Good. Was there a storm coming? It would be an indicator if the woman was more or less stable mentally. I can tell that her attitude rattled you. You don't owe some random person demanding a ride. Ever. But was a storm coming? And OP replies, thank you for your reply. A mild storm, but a storm nonetheless. On my way back, a light rain started up with some fair wind. And No Yogurt Closet 1020 says, not the jerk, I think calling fire and rescue was a kind thing to do. And Moon Melodic Station says, yeah, the whole situation didn't sound or feel safe. Better let professionals handle it. Alright folks, and our last letter is titled, I helped the least romantic man on the planet surprise his wife of 10 years while selling him jello molds on Facebook Marketplace. So a while back, I was buying auction goods and selling them on the marketplace. One piece that I found was 3 vintage jello molds that I had on sale for $40. This man, mid-30s, decent appearance, good clothes and car, offers me $40, so I talked to him for a bit, just wondering what he was getting it for. Me attempting to roll in the other items. The dude was planning on buying these jello molds, noticed that he wasn't struggling for money at all, for his wife of 10 years, and that's all he was doing. I spoke to him and said, you think that would be a bit odd if she found that you had spent $40 for a 10-year anniversary? And he says, I guess, that would be kind of odd, what else can I do? I told him, well, there's flowers, man, what's her favorite flowers? He says, I don't really know, I never asked her. I get her name and I look up her Facebook profile. Every photo has a daisy filter, including her cover photo. I tell the guy, make it 80, I'll meet you the day of, and I'll get you a batch of her favorite flowers. Also, if money isn't tight, I know of a steak place outside of town that I can get you a reservation at for that night. He said that you would do that for 80, and I said, yep. I called Walmart, and I got them to put together a lot of daisies and some spider lilies, and it cost me $15. I made the reservation in his last name, and I got all of it, and I even coached him on not to assume that they are her favorites and just let her say it. This confirms that they are favorite and makes it seem more thoughtful. Also, told him under no circumstances to ever tell her that I did any of this, and just say that I thought I would do something special if she ever questioned it. Later, I watched her Facebook, and the next day after that it was over, she wrote this. I love this man so much for all the trouble that he went through for me. Sometimes you never know how lucky you are until it's really shown to you. He got my favorites. Look at these. The jello molds are gorgeous too, just like my grandmother, and I had loved this man so much. We had a really good time last night, even after 10 years. There were also photos of the restaurant jello molds and flowers, and I was so happy when I saw the post. In total, I made this woman's day and hopefully helped him be a bit more thoughtful in the process. I know I didn't get paid near enough, but come on, like some jello molds and no plans when you have money on a 10-year? No woman deserves that. Note that I'm a dude and I would never let my girlfriend down like that. Keeping romance is needed regardless of how long. Alright folks, what do you think of this story here?
Yeah, I thought it was kind of cute, but also kind of horrifying at the same time. Like, I'm glad that everything worked out for the best, but I can't believe the guy's first reaction for a 10-year anniversary was, you know what? I'm gonna get her some jello molds off of Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, well, I think he saw the jello molds and was like, oh, these are just like her grandmother's, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was actually really thoughtful in that respect. And it seems like he was at least trying to make somewhat of an effort. But I'm glad that the guy was able to direct him and it let him know how to do a little bit better of a job here.
Although it's a little disconcerting that he has no idea what her favorite flowers are after 10 years if she literally plasters them all over her Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, the guy seems pretty dense. He seems like he needs a pretty big clue in order to figure things out. So I'm glad that he was able to have things work out. Let me know what you folks think. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she's got a joke.
Where do baby ghosts go during the day?
You know, I can tell you exactly where baby ghosts go during the day. Baby ghosts go to the winery. Wah.
No, they go to the day scare center.
Because babies whine. You get it? You get it? Whine?
Yeah, but babies probably shouldn't be in wineries unless they're under intense supervision.
Oh, no, they don't. They wouldn't be. I mean, this is literally just them whining, right? It's a place where they go to whine. I mean, plus they're ghosts. Alcohol doesn't impact ghosts at all.
I mean, I guess that's a good point.
And I have licorice spice. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Friday. Folks, we made it to the end of the week, but it's not over yet. We've got a live stream at 6 o'clock Eastern. Make sure to check your time zone. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance. And please, make it an odd, strange thing that you might find on the marketplace.
Looking for an anniversary gift for your significant other? Have this nail emblazoned chair.
A nail emblazoned chair. All right, I mean, that's very odd. I don't know how it applies to the moral, other than if a lady is walking around and she has a nail emblazoned chair and asks you to get a ride from her, then don't. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Later today.
Or today.
Bye.